Hello, all. Today, in my ongoing reviews of bizarre science fiction films, I come to one that I had never even heard of until I found it on Tubi, and I watched it, and it's really strange. It's from 2000, and it's called Superstarlet A.D. It's unrated. It's was written and directed both by John Michael McCarthy, and it comes from the fine folks at Troma Films, who brought you such things as Sergeant Kabuki Men and things of that sort, and of course the Toxic Avenger and the various 8 billion sequels that they inevitably produced for it. And Serve Nazis Must Die and other things like that. Really low grade Z trashy, but generally pretty fun and funny, parody kind of films. This one is very bizarre. It's mostly shot in black and white. It stars, and I can't list everybody, but principally Corinne Elkins plays Queen Jezebel, who's the leader of the Tempest. Tempests are redheads, obviously after Tempest Storm. Gina Velour plays Naomi, who's a brunette, and she's sort of the hero, as it were, of the movie. Michelle Carr plays Verona, who's a brunette who doesn't like the redheads and wants to depose Queen Jezebel. Rita Dalbert plays Ultramame, a gorgeous blonde who carries a 50 caliber machine gun. And if you know how heavy a 50 caliber machine gun is, that's not an easy task. She's a big woman, though. It looks like maybe she actually could have carried one. Though it's a prop. It's obviously cardboard, but kind of funny. Karen St. Valentine plays a character called Valentine, who is sometimes Naomi's lover. Naomi has a lot of lovers. Alicia Trout plays Rachel, who's sort of the narrator and the other main character. She is, by her own words, the last blonde, and you find out why at the end. I'll get to that. Kelly Ball plays Super Jane, who was a blonde who was captured by the redheads and tortured by Kathy X, who was a dominatrix played by Kitty Diggins, who later sort of betrays Jezebel and becomes a blonde. And she always wears a mask, but it's revealed that she had a scar across her face, and that's why she wore the mask. Had nothing to do with being a dominatrix. It was just that she didn't want people to see the scar. Elle Livesey is in it. Victoria Renard plays Vixen. They pronounce it Vixen. She's another redhead. And Catherine Greenwood plays Velvet. She's also a redhead. Dawn Ashcroft plays Wonder Mare, who's also a blonde. And Dagmar O'Doom plays Aurora, who's another redhead. They have these quote-unquote beauty cults, and that's based on hair color. They live in a place, the place they live, the city is called Femphis. Not Memphis, but Femphis. I thought that was kind of cool. And there's one beauty cult that accepts all hair colors. That's the one that Naomi belongs to. And then the others are kind of against each other, and they do things like they trade for lipsticks and eyeshadow, and there are no clothes anymore. All the clothes are gone because one of them says, "Why aren't there any dresses anymore?" She says, "Because there aren't any gay men anymore. The gay men don't exist anymore. Men have lost a chromosome, and they've all become sort of Neanderthal types. They've devolved, basically, but women didn't, and women evolved, I guess, and they're now all kind of, they're all lesbians. But they go around killing these primitive men when they find them. They don't mate with them at all. And they carry this was kind of funny. I thought, why are they doing this? When I first saw it, they carry like 70 millimeter film reels around on their backs. And what they're doing is they are looking for the ancient burlesque and stag films that were made by their grandmothers. And each one wants to find the one that's made by her grandmother, and Naomi can't find hers, and apparently Ultramame has it and is sort of torturing her with it. That if she does what she wants, which is to kill the redheads, she'll give her her grandmother's film. And they watch some of these films, and they're pretty hilariously funny. There's also one that's very sexy with a really gorgeous blonde, and I don't know who that is, but wow, really good looking. And again, there's a lot of sex. There's kind of, it's sort of like a sexploitation film. It's a parody. It's a musical. There are some very funny musical numbers, most of which are sung by Carrie Elkins as Queen Jezebel. And so one was about a sewing machine. That was funny. And, another one's just about how, being the queen and, what it takes to be the queen. Uh, Very bizarre film, and in the end, they have this old hot rod they drive around into, which they call a sex symbol, which is funny. Two of them, kind of make out. Rachel and Naomi make out in the hot rod, and I thought that was kind of cool. They walk around wearing lingerie because, like I said, there are no clothes anymore. But there seem to be plenty of garter belts and stockings and high heels, and that's sort of kind of a contradiction, but it's I guess makes them film more interesting. Really bizarre, really weird, funny, silly, bit violent in the end. The character Naomi says, "I like old movies where everybody dies in the end." And basically, everybody does except for Rachel, who is the narrator. She is the last person, and she's going to go back and kill Queen Jezebel in the end. But you don't see that. That's then the movie just ends and the title sequence comes up. Very strange, and I really, really enjoyed it.